You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop.
Have you ever noticed how some words seem to whisper something to the universe, and the universe whispers back? Maybe what we call destiny is nothing more than the echo of what we say without even realizing it. Think about it for a second. What if every sentence that leaves your mouth were a seed? Some bloom, others rot, but none of them die in silence. What have you been planting around you without knowing? Since the beginning of time, humanity believed that speaking was just describing the world. But what if it's the other way around? What if, by speaking, you're actually writing reality itself, letter by letter, sound by sound? Ancient traditions called it the creative word. Today, we prefer to call it coincidence. Maybe the greatest trick time ever pulled was convincing us that our words are harmless, that talking is just talking, that sound has no weight. But the universe doesn't listen to explanations. It obeys frequencies. There's a quiet force hidden in what you repeat. Every complaint is a decree. Every statement is a summoning. The body learns the language of your voice. The subconscious records your words as commands. And life simply executes. You don't have to believe it, just watch. The world around you is already translating, word by word, everything you say when you think no one's listening. But here's where most people fail. They keep asking for what they should be declaring. They keep describing what they don't want, reinforcing what they wish to forget. And the more they try to change the outside, the more the inside keeps repeating the same code. It's like trying to change a reflection without touching the mirror. There's a moment, though, when something shifts, when your voice stops begging and starts commanding, when you stop talking about life and start talking to life. What happens after that is something few have seen, because few dare to stay there. That space where sound becomes structure, frequency becomes form, and reality bends before those who speak as if it already is. Maybe you've spent years trying to be heard when all the universe ever wanted was to hear you speak like someone who's already won. So the question isn't whether words have power. The real question is, when are you finally going to use them like you know they do? You know that feeling, when a word gets stuck in your throat, like your whole body's holding its breath, refusing to admit what it already knows. It's not fear of the world. It's fear of activating the mechanism that turns intention into matter. What if your life has been waiting for that single tiny gesture, one sound spoken with just the right weight? Would you call it coincidence or guilt? What if it's neither? What if it's just law? Remember when you repeated a phrase so many times it started to live on its own? It didn't feel like magic. It felt like habit. And habit, when dressed in emotion, becomes architecture. Maybe you still believe language exists to tell stories about things. But what happens when language starts building the ground you walk on? There's no warning, just movement. Reality shifts, like straightening a crooked picture frame. You don't notice the exact moment. You just feel the room fall into order and think, finally, I got lucky. But what if it wasn't luck? What if it was the field obeying what you've been affirming in silence? Complaining is the most expensive shortcut. It gives a short relief and a long echo that ties your body to the same pattern. When you say nothing works for you, you're not asking for comfort. You're signing an invisible maintenance order. The system understands commands. It executes commands. It ignores irony. You may call it venting. Biology calls it programming. The body listens more faithfully than the mind ever could. The mind negotiates, rationalizes, gets distracted. The body takes things literally. It organizes hormones, breathing, small electrical impulses, as if setting the stage for the sentence you repeat the most. And then your day moves to the choreography of that sentence. You call it mood. In truth, it's alignment. Alignment with what? With your voice. Who taught you to speak as if you needed permission to exist? At what point did you start narrating your lack as if it were identity? The world doesn't ask that of you. The world simply responds to the rhythm you keep. You can change the rhythm. You don't have to announce it, just repeat differently and keep it until your body understands this isn't rehearsal. It's opening night. There's an underground music in everything that's said. Sound doesn't disappear when the sentence ends. It lingers in the air like a perfume that insists on staying. When intention is thin, sound dissolves. When intention is dense, sound becomes structure. Have you ever walked into a room and felt that something had already been decided before you arrived? That was the sound that stayed, the decision that needed no explanation. The creative word doesn't ask for performance, it asks for coherence. You can repeat something without emotion and nothing happens. You can repeat with emotion and something stirs, but it doesn't last. You can repeat with emotion and the perspective that it's already true, and then life itself gives way, opening the path for those who know where they're going. It's not about hurry, it's about precision. What if the universe isn't asking for more effort, but for more clarity? It's not about shouting, it's about vibrating fully. A half-spoken phrase gets lost, a fully embodied one finds its place. Maybe that's why the ancients called the word sacred, not because of the sound itself, but because of the presence behind it. The sacred isn't in the syllable, it's in the surrender. Ask yourself, what are you reinforcing when you speak without thinking? Those tiny, almost invisible sentences, they build foundations. I always bounce back. I never get lucky. People like me don't make it. They're confessions of identity disguised as facts. You can change the confession. And when you do, the landscape shifts, quietly. If every word is a signal, where have you been pointing? Life can't contradict you when you train it through repetition. It learns faster than you think. Are you willing to sustain a new language until your body memorizes it and your mind finally follows? Or will you return to the old vocabulary at the first sign of doubt? The test was never the world. The test has always been your consistency. Have you ever noticed how the silence between two sentences can hurt more than any scream? That space demands a decision. That's where you choose. Go back to the old story, or push the boundary of what's possible. The gap has always been a portal. Most don't cross because they mistake discomfort for error, but that discomfort is your body trying to reorganize itself for the new language. If you give in, you go back to the maze. If you hold on, you find the exit. People say you need to see first and then believe. But what if it's the other way around? What if vision is born from the word, not the mother of it? When you speak as if you already are, your nervous system looks for the shortest path to confirm it. Synapses rearrange. Sensations clear away. You call it coincidence. Biology calls it adaptation to the dominant command. Don't confuse repetition with noise. Repetition is water carving stone. Noise is water spilled on the ground. You can feel the difference in your skin. An empty affirmation hits your chest and drops. A present one pierces through like an arrow and stays. The body begins to act as if it were already memory. And at that moment, you stop convincing and start calibrating. There are memories you carry like chains, sentences that never received forgiveness. Each time you repeat them, the rust spreads. You don't need to erase the past. You need to recall it under a new signature. Saying, "I was hurt and I am whole," at the same time creates a war inside you. Saying, "I was hurt and now I walk as someone who learned," closes one cycle and opens a new road. There are two languages inside you, always in conflict: the language of lack, which demands proof, and the language of wholeness, which gives direction. The first collects excuses. The second builds reality. When both speak at once, nothing moves. It's not a curse, it's interference. You have to choose one channel and stay tuned until the noise dies out. The world tests you with small temptations of incoherence: a casual chat that triggers an old complaint, a joke at your own expense, sealing failure with laughter. It all seems harmless. Nothing is neutral. The field records everything. Are you willing to lose the easy laugh to gain the hard life of truth? Or will you keep signing scarcity contracts in the name of lightness? Sound is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. When it carries clarity, the bridge holds. When it carries doubt, it shakes. You know what it's like to cross a shaky bridge. Your body tenses, your steps shorten, your eyes look for ground. That's what it's like to live with contradicting affirmations. You can steady the bridge. Just decide it's no longer an experiment. It's the road itself. Ask yourself where you're competing against yourself. When do you declare abundance but retreat from opportunity? When do you affirm love but doubt your own worth? Incoherence charges a toll. It's not moral, it's mechanical. The system can only sustain what it receives without resistance. Your resistance has been internal. When speech and action meet, a third thing is born, a vibration that comes before the event, like a wordless announcement. People feel it, doors feel it, the world feels it. You don't need to convince anyone when your body already carries the signature of what's been said. Reality just recognizes the document and clears the way. What if life has never been asking for more explanation, only more presence? Presence doesn't argue. Presence confirms. It doesn't rush. It occupies. You can occupy the space your words have drawn. Not tomorrow. Now. Now has always been the place where things happen. Maybe now you see, this was never about words. It was about presence. About that instant when sound becomes a mirror and you finally see not what's missing, but what's always been there. The voice within you doesn't ask for permission. It remembers. It remembers that creation doesn't come from your hands, but from your tone, from the invisible frequency of what you believe yourself to be. Every syllable spoken is a trace of origin. Every silence, a temple. And maybe the greatest secret is this: there is no word without identity. What you say reveals who you've decided to be. The world doesn't bow to promises, it bows to presences that do not tremble. There's something sacred about those who speak as if they've already walked the path, even when there's still dust on their feet. It's in that contrast between the unfinished and the inevitable that reality leans. Everything said so far has brought you here, to the point where there are no more instructions, only recognition. You're not trying to learn how to create. You're remembering that you always have, since the first cry, since the first yes, since the first silence that shaped your destiny without a sound. Now, every word that leaves your mouth carries the legacy of all the ones before it, the ones that hurt, the ones that healed, the ones that stayed stuck between your teeth, waiting for courage. They align like stars returning to orbit. There's no mistake in this process, only listening to what truly matters, the vibration you choose to hold when no one's watching. That's where creation begins again. That's where the universe leans in to listen. Maybe one day you'll understand, speaking isn't about convincing the world. It's about letting the world recognize you. And when that happens, nothing will seem impossible anymore, because reality will no longer be a battlefield, but an extension of your peaceful voice. Life won't need to prove anything to you. It will simply reflect who you've decided to be, with absolute precision. Speaking like someone who knows is just the surface. Being what you speak, that's the depth of the ocean. If something inside you moved, even slightly, don't ignore it. That's the call. The reminder that this isn't just another message, it's the echo of something that has always been yours. Breathe and feel it. If this touched you, share it with someone who's forgotten their own power. Leave a comment, a word, a symbol. Subscribe, not to follow, but to remember. Because once a voice awakens, it never goes back to sleep. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you're here, to speak and finally be heard.